Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why, or struggled to recall important details? Our brains are constantly bombarded with information, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of it all. But what if I told you that there are science-backed techniques that can help you supercharge your memory? Techniques that can help you remember names, dates, facts, and figures with ease? That's what we're diving into today. Let's get started. Let's talk about the first memory-boosting technique, chunking. Think about it, our brains are wired to find patterns and make sense of the world around us. When we encounter a long string of random information, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. But if we can break that information down into smaller, more manageable chunks, our brains can process it much more efficiently. It's like the difference between trying to remember a 10-digit phone number as one long string of numbers versus breaking it down into the familiar three-part pattern of area code, prefix, and line number. Next time you need to remember something, try grouping similar items together or finding meaningful patterns within the information. Now let's travel back in time to explore an ancient memory technique that's as effective today as it was centuries ago, the memory palace. This method, also known as the method of loci, takes advantage of our brain's spatial reasoning abilities. Imagine a place you know well, your home, your childhood school, even your favorite park. This familiar place becomes the palace where you'll store your memories. Instead of just trying to memorize a list, mentally walk through your memory palace and place each item in a specific location. Imagine placing a loaf of bread on your doorstep, a carton of milk on the kitchen counter, and a dozen eggs on the living room sofa. The more vivid and unusual the image, the better. When you need to recall the list, simply take a mental stroll through your memory palace, and you'll be amazed at how easily you can retrieve the information. So, we've explored chunking and built our memory palaces, but what about retaining information over the long term? That's where the spacing effect comes in. It turns out that cramming is the enemy of long-term memory. The spacing effect is all about strategically timing your review sessions to maximize retention. Instead of cramming information all at once, try reviewing it at increasing intervals. For example, if you're learning a new language, review the vocabulary after an hour, then again the next day, then after 3 days, a week, and so on. Each time you revisit the material, you reinforce those neural pathways, making them stronger and more resilient to the effects of time. Now let's talk about mnemonic devices. Mnemonics are memory tools that help us encode information in a way that's easier to remember. You might already be familiar with some common mnemonics like Roy G. by V to remember the colors of the rainbow, or Every Good Boy Does Fine to memorize the lines on the treble clef. These clever memory aids work by associating new information with something we already know, making it more meaningful and memorable. One of my favorite mnemonics is PEMDAS, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, addition and subtraction from left to right. The key to using mnemonics effectively is to find or create ones that resonate with you. The more creative and engaging the mnemonic, the more likely you are to remember it. So there you have it, 4 science-backed techniques to boost your memory. From chunking to mnemonics, these tools can help you remember anything from grocery lists to important presentations. But remember, memory improvement is a journey, not an overnight change. Practice these techniques daily, and you'll be amazed at how much your recall abilities improve. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos on brain training and self-improvement. See you next time.